someone behind the door.
What?
There's someone standing over there.
Hey, what's going on? I'm sitting down with Joey King from The Conjuring. This movie is terrifying.
Indeed it is.
Now, do you, when you go into something like this, I mean, you've worked on a lot of other stuff before, it's not your first movie, but do you go in here saying, I really hope nothing latches onto me?
Oh, definitely. I believe in all this stuff, and I'm not a skeptic at all, and I'm always scared of that aspect of something could happen. I mean, could this open doors for things to happen to me and my family? It's
right.
A weird thought.
There's the one scene when you're in your bedroom and you're screaming at the top of your lungs because there's something behind the door.
Yes.
How much fun was that to do?
I think that was kind of cool because I mean, there was, while we were filming it, there was nothing behind the door, and
right.
while you're watching the movie, the audience can't see anything behind the door, but Christine sees it, and
right.
she sees it clear as day. And later on in the movie, you find out what Christine saw, and you see what she saw.
Oh, yeah.
And you know why she was screaming at the top of her lungs. But you know what you have to do is you have to picture like this actually happening to somebody, and
right.
it did actually happen to somebody. So it's kind of cool to channel that, and a little freaky too.
And you had a chance to talk to the real Perron sisters.
Yes, definitely I got a chance to talk to the real Perron sisters, and they were telling me about some of the things that happened in the house. And it was just so freaky. And Andrea, the oldest sister, she wrote books. There are books out.
Yeah, I saw some clips of that on YouTube.
I have not read the books. I'm too much of a chicken to read the books. I've seen the movie twice, and I'm going to see it again tonight. But honestly, it's just every time I'm just like, no.
Yeah, which is a
every
great
time
sign.
I start tearing up, I'm just like, stop! Don't go in there, no.
And clapping.
Whenever I can't, after the first time I saw the movie, I saw it with Mackenzie,
Okay.
Haley, and Shanley, and Ron,
Right.
and my family. We were there, we were watching the movie, and after the movie was over, I was talking to Mackenzie and like James, and then Mackenzie's brother comes up behind me and goes like this in my ear. He goes
The worst, right?
behind me. I dropped to the floor. Like literally, I fell on the floor, like into the fetal position. I was like, "No, don't hurt me, don't hurt me." I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I need to learn better instincts. I mean, if something like that actually happens to me, you don't want to curl up in a fetal position. That's so stupid.
No.
So I dropped to the floor. It was funny. I talked to the sisters, and they said we didn't play hide and clap. We played hide and seek in real life, but
Okay.
they told me that they said we learned real quick not to play hide and seek in that house.
Okay.
Because bad things happened to them while they played hide and seek. I was like, well, give me an example. Like, what happened? Well, they got trapped places that they couldn't get out. And apparently, when a manifestation happens, like between a human and the inhuman spirit, sometimes they block out everything, and no one can hear you when you're screaming at the top of your lungs. So Nancy, the second oldest sister, she was like hiding behind like something, like a fire pit. I don't even know. And like something like happened where her like air like started like closing in on her, and like she couldn't breathe, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs, and nobody heard her, no one. And they weren't hiding that far away from each other, and like things like that kept happening to them. So they learned not to play hide and seek in that house.
And they lived there after, right?
They lived there for 10 years.
Oh, man.
And I asked them, I said, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you room with someone? I would rather be sleeping on a couch for 10 years than live in the house like that. And they told me that they grew to love that house. And Andrea, the oldest sister, she goes, I've never felt more at home than I did at that house. And I said, what? Are you crazy? I mean,
So what's next for you?
I'm filming a movie with Zach Braff.
Oh, yeah.
And we're filming a movie that he's directing, and he and his brother wrote, called Wish I Was Here.
Okay.
And it's going to be so fun. It's a dark comedy, and it's going to be great. I mean, I get to work with one of my favorite people.
Would you want to be in a superhero movie? And if you could, who would you want to play? I mean, I know you were in Batman. And no, I know you were in Batman.
So fun.
No, I know you played the young
Talia.
Talia Ghul. But if you could play an actual superhero, who would it be?
Not just because I was in it, I've always been such a fan of Batman. And I always say, I was like, I'm not trying to say I'm Batman or anything, but no one's ever seen me and Batman in the same room, have they? And I always say that. So if I could play, I would probably be Batgirl.
Any more horror movies for you?
Not in the future, but I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. If you survive the getting through this one.
If I survive getting through that, honestly, it's so creepy. Like some weird things happen on set too.
Tell me one.
Okay, something happened to me,
Okay.
which is really creepy. Lily Taylor, she plays our fake
Yeah,
mother, and
yeah.
such a talented lady.
Yeah,
And
I love her.
The spirit latches onto her in the film, and she gets bruises everywhere. Well, at the same time we were filming those scenes, I started getting bruises all over my stomach, my legs, my arms. It was awful and weird too. So I went to the doctor, and everyone on set was freaking out. So was I. I was like, oh my god, I'm getting possessed. Oh my god. But I went to the doctor. They found out it was ITP, which is like this blood thing, low platelet count. I almost had to get a blood transfusion, but that didn't happen. But there was a rational explanation for what happened, but I don't believe in coincidences. I never have. So I don't believe that was just a coincidence.
So this is probably it for you.
I don't know. I mean, there might be more scary
No,
movies
for
in my
sure.
future. I don't know.
Well, I really, really enjoyed the film. Thanks for taking the time and have fun. And
Thank
just
you.
Be careful.
Thank you. Thank you for wishing me luck.
Nancy?
From the director of Saw and Insidious.
We waited 30 years to tell our story. Because 30 years ago, the world was not prepared for this.
On July 19th, experience the terrifying truth.
Who is that?
The Conjuring.